Hey, it's me again, and I was going to wait until I hit the 8-month mark before I made another video, which is just a week or two away. But I've been seeing some posts on the boards, and I've gotten some emails and PMs from people who are telling me that they're inspired and they want to stop drinking too, and which is awesome. I've gotten quite a few of those, actually, and that's really cool, and I'm glad people are recognizing they've got a problem and that they're doing something about it. But there's a common theme, and one in particular that kind of sent me over the edge, and whenever I read it, that I think needs to be addressed, and I keep bringing up these safety nets in my videos, and I can't stress enough how dangerous that is for people to set those up. And I'll tell you what I mean by safety nets. If you go back into my profile for this YouTube channel and you look at my very first day without booze, and it'll be the very first video that I did. I'm still drunk at the time, and I'm laying out why I want to quit drinking and why, what I'm going to be going through and blah blah blah. In the middle of that, I stress actually a couple different times that I'm going to be quitting temporarily. And when my sober friends had heard that, they cringed. And when I go back and look at it now, I cringe as well. Because I'm setting up a safety net. I'm telling myself at the time, I'm going to quit drinking. And then I throw in that line for a little while. And the reason that's a safety net is because I'm mentally setting myself up to fail and then making it acceptable to myself when I do fail. That way, whenever I start drinking again, I will look back on it and say, well, it was never for good. It was just a temporary thing just to get myself in check. I've won. I've defeated the problem. And that's not the truth at all. It's a big fucking bullshit lie. It is a pussy way out, and I did it constantly. It has never worked in the fucking history of anyone ever trying to quit. It has never fucking worked that way, ever. And it makes me angry to look back on that video and see myself doing it. It frustrates me to see other people doing it because I've done it so much, I know how that story ends. It doesn't work. You can't say, I'm going to quit, and then I'm going to go ahead and drink again on my birthday because, fuck, I can't not drink on my birthday, right? And then after my birthday, I'll quit again. Because the next thing that comes up down the line is, well, Thanksgiving's coming up. I want to be around all my friends. So, I'm going to go ahead and drink then because it's a special occasion. I'll be around family. They'll all be drinking, and I can't pass that up. I'll go ahead and drink then. That time's not going to hurt. Well, then Christmas is also coming up, and then we've got New Year's. You're going to find these bullshit freaking reasons just to keep drinking over and over and over, and you're not doing anything by quitting in those times in between your special occasion drinks. How that story ends is you drink more frequently and more frequently until you're right back in the same goddamn rut you were in to begin with. Quitting for this week, then drinking the next week is not quitting drinking. All you're doing is going a week without drinking. You're detoxing. I can't tell you how many times I've done that over the course of my 22-year drinking binge. So many times I've done that, and seeing it on that video embarrasses me. And if you're one of those people who have written that shit down, read that post again, or read the PM again, or the email again that you sent me. Try to read that objectively, and it should embarrass you. It's a pussy's way out. If you're going to quit, here's what drives me crazy about it. This is the most frustrating part. And I'm telling you the reason it's frustrating is because I've done it, and I'm embarrassed by myself having done it. The reason it's frustrating is I see I've got a problem. I finally had the balls to recognize the problem and admit it and accept it. I tell myself and admit to my friends and my family and total strangers on the internet, I admit to them that I've got a problem. I know it's destroying me. It's hurting the people around me. It's killing me financially, mentally, physically. It's hurting my kids. is watching me do this every day. My friends are watching me do this every day, and they're getting hurt by my actions. But I'm only going to quit doing it for a little bit. I'm going to fix the problem by temporarily quitting. And it is such bullshit. You have to eliminate those safety nets. You cannot give yourself a reason to fail and then make that excusable. You can't justify it. If you've got a problem, the fix is not to temporarily stop doing the thing that's... I know the snake's poisonous, but I'm only going to smack it around for a little bit. Then I'm going to stop smacking it around because it could bite me and kill me. But here in about 2 hours, I'm going to go right back to smacking it around again. It doesn't work that way. That fucking snake is going to bite you every time. It doesn't matter when you do it. You're still doing it. It's the same thing with the booze. I mean, you're giving it up and you're letting your body detox. But if you go right back to it again, you haven't quit shit. You've delayed your alcoholism. You've put a hyphen in there. You've put an ellipses in there. I don't know. Be careful about those safety nets. Be very careful about your phrasings. I know it sounds like a nitpicky bullshit thing to point out, but it's the absolute truth. If I hadn't lived it, I probably wouldn't have even brought it up. And the reason I'm so harsh when I talk about it is because had the people around me tiptoed around that and had been all nice about it and, pat me on the back type supportive, I'd still be drinking today. I needed those people to hit me in the head with a sledgehammer and say, what the fuck are you doing? Look at this. You should be embarrassed by it. That's what helps me keep on the track that I'm on. I want to drink all the time. There's been the last 2 weeks, I would say the majority of the last 14 days I've wanted to go out and buy some beer. And I have told my girlfriend that, who will help me out by, making sure we've got coffee and tea made whenever I get home. We'll make sure that we plan some stuff to do together, even if it's just sitting around playing World of Warcraft, we make sure we've got something to do to take my mind off of those cravings. Because I'm telling you right now, even almost 8 months into it, that if I had a legitimate excuse and a legitimate safety net to where I could justify my drinking, I would go out right fucking now and buy a 12-pack. Even after all this that I've gone through, even after all the financial difficulty it's caused me, and the mental and the physical pain that it's caused me, and all the hurting of the friends and the family that it's caused, after all that, if I could justify in my head for even 5 minutes that it's okay to drink, I would have a 12-pack right fucking now and I would have one open. See how illogical that is? That's beyond bizarre, but that's what the alcoholism does to the human brain. It plays huge tricks on you. I swear to God, that thing is a fucking entity. It's a living, breathing entity, and it will trick you at every chance it gets. If you tried to debate with yourself over whether you can drink or not, it's very easy to manipulate your own mind into getting the result that you want. That's what justification is. You can't do it. It's dangerous. So anyway, I think I've said my piece on that, but I wanted to wish the people well who have done well so far. I mean, we've got a lot of people who are really sticking in there and are being as much of an inspiration in that thread as our friend who recently had a liver transplant and is coming out of it nicely. Not without complications, but he's coming out of it nicely. And I want you guys to know that there's not just one or two people who are inspiring in that thread that we've got at the cracked.com forums. But everybody that I read in there is an inspiration in some form or another. It's hard. It's not an easy thing to do. That's why I say it's a pussy's way out to just not do it. It's hard, and it takes a very strong person to get through it. It also takes support. So anyway, at the risk of rambling, I'm going to let you guys go, but just wanted to check in and say my piece. And in about 1 or 2 weeks, I think it's July or June 30th, I'll be 8 months sober and still going pretty strong.